Listen, we'll be paying you compliments tonight, but I have to say, the end of that song is right up there with the end of Ace of Spades. It's just, it's just perfect, isn't it? So that was Imperial Wax live in session with the tune that we played quite a lot on this programme called No Control, and the album is called Tranquilizer, and it is out now, and we'll get to all that in a short while. And there's a few different dynamics going on in the room now, and so we've got two ex-Fall members here, one being Ding, of course, the legend. Am I allowed to call you that, mate?
Well, yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
you'll have it, won't you? Yeah, you can live with that. I'm sure you've been called worse.
I'd take that with a big beam on my face if you called.
His head's big enough.
There you go. But of course, we've got Kieran on the drums. And Kieran, obviously, I'll have to tell people, obvious to some, but not to all, that you were a member of The Fall for what is now historically the longest lasting lineup, wasn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. I feel like, you know, the Japanese soldier that didn't know it had ended, the war.
The war, right.
I feel like him. I'm still in The Fall.
Right, in mind. Well, I mean, it's hard to shake off. I mean, you know, it was a long, long time ago that I was in the band, and I was in the band for probably half as long as you were, and probably got some stories to tell, both of us.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about The Fall in a moment, but the first Imperial Wax show, just coincidentally, was actually as one of the sound carriers, the band for Damo Suzuki.
That's right, yeah. It was a sad day yesterday, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Jacob Brailsford, our booking agent, who just decided, he just said, "You want to be the sound carrier for Damo Suzuki?" And we said, well, we don't have a name or anything, and literally just came up with it on the spot because it was the first Fall record that we did, Imperial Wax Solvent, so that's where we started.
Okay, and I mean, if you look at jumping, I mean, you could say frying pan fire. I mean, obviously, both absolute legends and both truly, truly wonderful people. But you've gone from working with Marc Smith and then with Damo Suzuki, who was slightly out there in a different way, wasn't it? So, did you think at some point in time, how am I on this journey?
Yeah. Yeah, no, to be fair, they were both incredible, you know. Working with Marc, we ended up very good friends in the end, you know. Couple of years it took to get out of the sort of like employee status into friend status, and then after that it seemed to be like we just had a laugh, you know. After every Fall gig, that's the point where that I looked forward to the most, just being in the hotel room.
Right, sure. And so, I mean, it must have been very tough and very emotional for you, particularly with Marc being so poorly towards the end of his performing career and his life, sadly.
Yeah, it were really tough actually. It's just I believed he'd get better all the way through.
Right.
Because he had cancer in 2012.
I know.
He's like, I'll just go to Germany and get it sorted. And he came back and he was on stage in a wheelchair and absolutely fine. But this one got him, unfortunately.
It was a little bit like you say. I mean, almost like the kind of Shane McGowan thing, whereby you're thinking, "Oh, this guy's so poorly," but just kept going in one form or another, and those legendary performances towards the end. So yeah, well, credit to you all for that, and just amazing. So how did it feel once you'd been through that and joining the ranks of it's the old cliche, isn't it, of 500 different ex-members of the Fall or whatever, but then getting the new band together, was that difficult to do, to follow from that kind of legendary status?
Yeah, well, to be fair, you know, we were trying to set ourselves aside from the Fall. We wanted to become our own band and our own thing. We didn't want to kind of go out there. We did play a couple of Fall songs for the first few gigs, just to say sort of thanks to the people for coming out. But we tried to kind of step back from that now. And we don't play any Fall songs, and we just, and you know what, the Fall fans are great. They'll follow you over, and the ones that are you know, like Cheggs, who called earlier,
right?
You know, that guy's amazing. He came from Carlisle.
Wow.
To Preston just to watch us, you know, it's fantastic, really.
Yeah, but I mean, the bottom line is, if you were crap, they wouldn't.
Wow.
You see, I mean,
We are crap.
loyalty can go so far, can't it, really? But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I do mean that. Like I say, I'm loving your record.
Oh, thank you.
But, I mean, it's not the obvious, immediate reaction to leave the situation we're in and then going to work with two guys who were in a band called Black Pudding.
Well, that's it. Actually, it was Sam. I bumped into him at a beer festival in Cone. And,
Was it not a Black Pudding festival?
Well, you can always find a black pudding somewhere where we live.
Very philosophical.
Yeah, Sam came up to me and just said, "Oh, sorry about Mark, passing." And then I remembered his number, and I liked his old band they used to be in, so I gave him a call and ruined their band by asking him to be in this one.
Right, okay. And do you know, you have mentioned already, Sam, Pete Greenway, and we need to mention Pete again because, also on the House of All records and a brilliant guy and couldn't be with us. So just sending you all our best there, mate. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So the album Tranquilizer, who did you record it with and where and when?
We did it twice. So the first time it sort of didn't work too well. So the second time we did it at home studio, HOHM, in Bradford. With Tom. What's his last name?
Tom Goodall.
Goodall. Sorry, Tom Goodall, and he's top. So we just sort of went in for a weekend really and blasted it out. So the whole thing's like pretty much live.
Well, I mean, in my experience, that was the way the fall worked anyway. So you probably learnt from the master on that particular occasion.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Okay, and so you have got some dates, and I think I've got them here somewhere. Yeah, bum-ba-dum-ba-dum-dum. So what's the date now then? We're looking at the 12th, aren't we? So what have you got coming up here? I've got the album launch, London - the Henge.
That's right. Yeah.
And is that all you've got lined up at the moment?
No, we've got Fair Play Festival.
Sorry, I've got it written down here. So that's me just not finding it. The 6th of April, Manchester Fair Play with Buzzard, and various other bands. And also on the 5th and 6th of July, Bolton Right to Rome Festival. And you've got the Seek Out Festival in the Ribble Valley on the 26th to the 28th of July. And more dates to come as well.
That's it, yeah.
Fabulous. Okay, so you're going to do 2 tunes back-to-back for us now, one being the title track of the album, Tranquilizer, and then what you're going to do straight off the back of that?
We're going to do Porcelabotomy off the back of that. And can I just say, I love you, Isaac Melling. That's my son, and my wife asked me to give him a shout-out, so I did.
How could you not?
It's the only way you got the night off to do this.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, then, back to Imperial Wax, live in session, Tranquilizer.